Isidro Meza Flores, also known as Chapo Isidro, was a senior member of the Sinaloa gang, one of Mexico's most potent drug trafficking groups. He had a reputation for being merciless and for being able to escape law enforcement. What is the story of Chapo Isidro? How did he become a drug lord? A rival drug trafficking group known as the Beltran Leyva gang was one of Chapo Isidro's greatest threats to the Sinaloa cartel. Several brothers who had previously belonged to the Sinaloa cartel but had broken off to form their group went on to start the Beltran Leyva cartel. South of Sinaloa, in the state of Guerrero, the Beltran Leyva gang had its headquarters. They had a reputation for using brutal methods and being ready to fight bloody turf wars with rival drug cartels. Chapo Isidro assumed command of the Sinaloa cartel's activities in Guerrero in 2008. The Beltran Leyva cartel's perception of the Sinaloa cartel as a serious rival placed him in direct conflict with them. Chapo Isidro, however, emerged as the greatest threat to the Sinaloa cartel's dominance in 2014 when he split from the group and established his organization, known as the Beltran Leyva Organization. A vicious power struggle between the two organizations resulted from this action, which was seen as a serious threat to the Sinaloa cartel's hegemony. The violence and effectiveness of Chapo Isidro's BLO soon became well known. The organization was behind several well-known assaults on Sinaloa cartel members, including the murder of several senior officials. Assaulting a military convoy in the town of Culiacan, the seat of Sinaloa State, was one of the group's most brazen assaults in 2016, and it was one of their most daring acts. The BLO showed its willingness to challenge even the strongest institutions in the nation by killing and injuring several soldiers in the assault. Despite the BLO's effectiveness in undermining the Sinaloa cartel's dominance, Chapo Isidro eluded capture. Despite being among Mexico's most wanted individuals, he evaded capture for several years, but he was eventually apprehended by Mexican authorities in the state of Nayarit in late 2017. The Sinaloa cartel's broad threat to the BLO's dominance was severely hampered by Chapo Isidro's arrest. However, the continuing violence in the area raises the possibility that new players may enter the conflict to overthrow the current system of government. He was a significant player in the drug trade in Mexico. He was thought to have been a part of the Sinaloa gang, one of the nation's most infamous and potent drug trafficking organizations. Chapo Isidro was renowned for his ability to plan and readiness to resort to violence when necessary. He allegedly carried out several notorious assaults on competitor drug cartels and law enforcement officers. He was a notoriously ruthless and crafty businessman, but he maintained a low profile in the public view. His involvement with the BLO and the Sinaloa cartel is described in a variety of ways, and the extent of his control over these organizations is still up for debate. The details of Chapo Isidro's arrest are unknown, but it is believed that they occurred in late 2017. The Sinaloa cartel's power was significantly undermined by his arrest, but the violence that is still occurring in the area indicates that the fight for dominance is far from over. The Sinaloa gang is one of Mexico's most infamous and potent drug trafficking groups. A group of Sinaloa-based traffickers established the cartel in the late 1980s, and since then it has expanded its activities all over Mexico and into other nations. The Sinaloa gang is well known for its complicated processes and use of violence to keep a firm grip on the areas used for drug trafficking. Drug trafficking, money laundering, and extortion are just a few of the illegal activities the cartel has been engaged in. Large quantities of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana are thought to have been transported into the United States and other nations by this organization. Over the years, the organization has been headed by several well-known individuals, including 𝐂𝐎𝐿 El Chapo Guzman, who was regarded as the most potent drug lord in the world before his arrest in 2016. The cartel has also been linked to several violent incidents, including the murder of public servants, law enforcement agents, and unarmed citizens. The Sinaloa cartel is still a major player in the drug trade, despite concerted attempts to have it destroyed by law enforcement authorities in Mexico and the United States. Its continued supremacy highlights the persistent problems that organized criminal activity and illicit drug trade in the area continue to cause. The National Drug Intelligence Center and other authorities claim that the Sinaloa cartel is mainly engaged in the distribution of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, fentanyl, cannabis, and MDMA within the United States. It presently supplies the majority of illicit fentanyl to North America. Most, if not all, of the cartel's heroin is now combined with fentanyl or chemical analogs to up the potency of the drug more cheaply. in terms of smuggling illegal drugs into the United States and trafficking them across the nation as of 2023, the Sinaloa gang is by far the most active drug gang. The organization has been heavily involved in the production and distribution of fentanyl. A large portion of this activity involves creating and peddling fake M30 pills that are made to resemble pharmaceutical-grade oxycodone pills, but are in fact devoid of any actual oxycodone. Predictably, this has led to an increase in accidental overdose fatalities in the United States. Additionally, according to some federal authorities, San Diego in Southern California has turned into the epicenter for fentanyl trafficking in America, according to local news. Sources who spoke with cartel operatives, the cartel has reportedly responded to this phenomenon of mass overdose deaths in the U.S. by producing multicolored fentanyl powder, as well as pills mixed in with other white substances like cocaine to prevent confusion with real oxycodone pills, which are typically blue. The Sinaloa gang is still Mexico's most powerful drug gang as of 2023. The gang is now led by veteran boss Ismael Zambada Garca, also known as El Mayo, and Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's other sons, Jesse Alfredo Guzman and Ivan Archivaldo Guzman Salazar, following the arrest of Guzman and his son Ovidio Guzman Lopes. As of November 2022, newer sources claim that the Guzman and Zambada factions of the cartel have recently patched up their differences and are preparing to team up to fight the Jalisco cartel. The Jalisco New Generation cartel, the second strongest drug cartel in Mexico, is the Federation's main rival at the moment. Most clashes between the two organizations take place over land for drug trafficking routes in the Mexican states of Sonora, Chiapas, Baja California, Zacatecas, and most recently Colima. According to the Colombian newspaper El Tiempo, the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels have also allegedly expanded their conflict to at least 5 different departments within the country. The Tijuana cartel and the Sinaloa cartel have conflicted with the Tijuana smuggling route to the border town of San Diego, California. The conflict between the two gangs began when Palma's family was set up by Miguel Felix Gallardo. After being imprisoned, Felix Gallardo gave his cousins in the Tijuana cartel control of the Guadalajara cartel. The Arellano Felix brothers managed to flee the scene with the help of David Baron Corona, a member of the Logan Heights gang, on November 8, 1992, when Palma engaged the Tijuana cartel at a disco club in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. 8 members of the Tijuana cartel were killed in the shootout. As of 2014, it is thought that the Tijuana cartel, or at least a significant portion of it, has been either absorbed into or compelled to ally with the Sinaloa Federation, in part because a former high-ranking Tijuana member named Eduardo Teodoro Garcia Cimental, also known as El Tío or Tres Letras, has allied with the Federation. How did Chapo go into this dangerous field of the drug trade? On June 19, 1982, Mesa Flores was born in Navojoa, Sonora, Mexico. He is also known as El Chapo Isidro in the criminal underworld. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the Juarez cartel's then leader, guided him early in his illegal career, which he started in the 1990s. Mesa Flores deserted the organization, along with several other drug lords, after the drug boss passed away in 1997 due to complications from plastic surgery, and made the decision to join the Beltran Leyva cartel. He displayed bravado, cunning, and daring as a member of the Beltran Leyva brothers, proving himself to be an accomplished hitman. Many members of the cartel deserted and left to establish an independent criminal organization with Edgar Valdez Villarreal, better known as La Barbie, after the leader Arturo Beltran Leyva was fatally shot by the Mexican military in December 2009. But Mesa Flores stuck by the Beltran Leyva siblings and may have formed a partnership with Vicente Carrillo Fuentes. Mesa Flores is a wanted fugitive on narcotic trafficking-related charges in the United States. FBI offered a $5 million reward. He was allegedly spotted with some of his immediate family members at a young game of basketball in San Pedro Garza on January 19, 2013, which is where his last known location was in the state of Nuevo Leon. What do you think of the life of Chapo Isidro? Do you think there will be another Sinaloa cartel? Let us know in the comments.